Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and I think I'm a few seconds early. My laptop is telling me that it is not quite 4 o'clock. It's still saying 3:59. But I thought, you know what? I'll give myself a few extra seconds and give you a few extra seconds to join in. Sometimes it takes a few minutes before everyone realizes that I'm live. Yes, it is now 4 o'clock. So, welcome to Cheer Corner. Cheer Corner is the video that I do live on Facebook every Monday because I believe that together we can change the world one card at a time. Unless when you receive Happy Mail, then you'll know what I'm talking about. It can really make a big difference. Even when I make cards every single day, when I go to the mailbox and there's Happy Mail for me, it changes my day. It just brightens it up. It means that someone actually took the time. They took the time not only to send me a card, but they took time to think about me, to make a card, and then to write something in it. So it's a big thing. It means a lot more than, and no bad things if you go to the dollar store or Hallmark and buy a card, but it means a lot more when someone makes a card for you. So I'm telling you, kudos to you if you've embraced the Stampin' Up, the stamping hobby and making cards, because it really is meaningful. So a while ago, a few hours ago, I was really on the ball today. I sent out a picture of all the stuff that you needed so you can make the card with me if you like. However, if you're not making the card, you can, or even if you are, you could still nominate someone for this card. So what I need you to do is tell me why you want me to send a card to this person, okay? Because that's half the fun. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm using a stamp set called Places in the Heart. And I love this because those sketches, that artwork is just beautiful. And I can't do it, but I can stamp it and I can color it, and that makes me super happy. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with Stampin' Up. And you know, the thing is, Stampin' Up demonstrators are super busy at this time of year because right now we can order out of 3 catalogs. We can order out of the annual catalog, we can order out of the occasions catalog, the purple one, that's good till the end of April, and we can pre-order out of the new annual catalog. So perhaps you've heard that there's a color refresh going on. That means there's a lot of new colors coming and there's some colors leaving. Don't freak out. This is an amazing opportunity. So it's nice for us. Our color is super important and our color needs to be on trend. It's just like when you go into someone's house from many, many, many years ago, you can see what era that house was last decorated. So Stampin' Up needs to stay current. And they're not doing it as a big money grab. And just because something is retired doesn't mean you can't use it anymore. So keep stamping and gather up those colors. And if you're thinking that it's going to make you broke, then just get the starter kit. You can put all the retiring colors in your starter kit for a good deal. Plus, you can put the new colors in as well. So if you have any questions, you want to do that in either Canada or the States, or the States, not the States, sadly not the States, Canada or Europe, then I can help you out, okay? But I think we're ready to start a card. So today I'm going to use this beautiful image of the mom and the baby, although it could be an aunt and a baby, it could be an Oma and a baby, it could be a sister, it doesn't matter. And then tomorrow I'm going to make a card with the lady and child at the beach, okay? Or maybe they're sitting in a meadow, who knows? So what I'm starting with is the Tea Boutique cards. And I found out this is what I was going to use. And I forget. I will send the link. Let me see if I can find this. Just a second. No. Sandy Reese is the person whose card I am I'm casing. This is her thing, and it's not mine. I'm just checking on Facebook now to see if anybody has joined me so I can say hello. I need to get one of those, what do you call that, a tablet or something, so that I can see who's watching. Hello, Glenda. Hello, Mary Ellen. Nice to see you here. All right, let's have a look. So you've been staring at my Tea Boutique cards, but the thing is, they are now on sale. These are Canadian prices, so $5.50 instead of $13.75, and they come in all the in colors. So take a peek. Here's the envelopes. And we have blends in all these colors too, and I'm using them today. So beautiful colors. And here are the cards, except that I ran out of Starry Sky. I must have used them for a class or a swap or something, so I don't have any of those left. But today we're going to use the Tahitian Tide, And we're going to use a piece of basic black. I have the measurements in inches and centimeters. And then we have a piece of basic white that's just a smidge smaller, okay, an 1/8 of an inch or 0.3 centimeters smaller, okay. And then I also used something that I use an awful lot of, the Stylish Shapes dies. They are not retiring, thankfully. And I'm using the second smallest and the third smallest stitch circle die, okay. So let's get started. We're going, and you know what, I have to say, oh, what did I do with that stamp? Oh, did I put it back in? I thought I had it out. Oh my goodness. You know what? Things always happen with the squirrel. And I knew it. Look, there's the space for my stamp. So I have to find out what I did with it. I was very organized. I really was. And I will be again in a minute. I will find this. I hope. Is it stuck to my sleeve? No. Oh, it fell on the floor. Okay. I was going to say, do you guys see it anywhere on my desk? But it was on the floor. Usually I use my Stamparatus, okay, to stamp. But the Stamparatus is sold out in all our markets. And the reason it's gone is because there was a lawsuit by Misty, a copyright infringement. So anybody else that has a tool similar to the Misty is no longer allowed to make it. So if you have your Stamparatus, wonderful. I did tell you to get it. And if you don't, that's fine, because you probably weren't using it anyway. But I use mine every single day. So my advice now is to make sure that your ink pads are super juicy. So I'm going to have to practice what I preach. I'm going to put this on a big block there. And I'm going to use, I've noticed that other demonstrators use this silicone mat. So that's what I'm going to do too. It keeps it from sliding around, for one. And I did just re-ink it, but I don't know. Oh, here we go. Yeah. All right. Let's hope, guys. Let's hope. I haven't stamped with blocks in so long, it's not even funny. So tap, tap, tap. And so make sure you have re-inkers for all your colors, okay? Another good reason to get the starter kit, just throw all those re-inkers in there. Now I'm going to stamp on the left-hand side. Give it a good firm press and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm giving it an extra couple seconds. Oh, look how dark. I'm so proud of myself. I just re-inked this ink pad, so obviously it works. So I'm just going to let that sit there for a minute. And then we're going to put it on the black. I could color it with blends right away, but I want my black to dry for a little bit. So I'm going to wait. So I'm going to put it on the black. I'm using liquid adhesive. This adhesive is going up in price. So another reason to place an order is to, if you love this stuff, get it now. And of course, you know, it's not the only adhesive on the market, but I do love it very, very much. It doesn't make your cardstock get all wonky. There. You do get what you pay for. All right, so here we are. And now I'm going to color the lady's dress or top or whatever with Sweet Sorbet blends. And I made a mistake. I colored it beforehand, and take a look. I'm going to lay it here. Over here, I colored that shadow in red. So I gave her 10 pounds extra. We're not going to do that this time. So I'm just going to go over the dark stuff first with my dark Sweet Sorbet. And I'm just going to go up to the dark line. Do not color the shadows in behind her. Okay? And you can go fairly quickly with this. Now, sometimes our blends spread a little bit, so then don't go right to the very edge. I haven't had too much trouble with that, but I've heard it that they do that. So, careful around the little one's hands. There. And I'm just going on the shaded bits. And then I'm going to go in with the lighter color. Although you don't really have to. You could just do the whole thing with the dark. This is the dark, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm just going to do the one. You know, it's quick, it's easy. And the shading already makes it look darker. And there. See, so last time I made the mistake of going over that. I'll show you the difference again. See? You don't want to do that. Okay, so The next thing I'm going to do is I'm using the light petal pink. Light petal pink, and I'm going to color all the skin. And you can use, we have all kinds of different skin tones now, so you can pick whatever you like. The thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that we just naturally tend to choose the color of skin that we have ourselves. That's not racist, it's just that that's what we identify with. But it's nice, the beautiful thing about this stamp is that you can, what's the word I'm thinking of? Customize it to whoever you're giving it to. So now I'm using the Tahitian Tide to coordinate with the card itself. And I'm just going over the shaded areas and then over here. And then I'm going to go with the lighter one. Go over top of the dark and then blend there. And the thing with blends is that you do not press hard, okay? And remember, you're supposed to be thinking about who we should give this card to. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is the hair color. And normally I would do a dark hair like me, but we're going to go blonde. And we've got a dark saffron and a light saffron. So I'm going to use the light for the baby. And the dark for the mama. And if you find that it's too dark, you can go over it with the color lifter to take some of the color off. But I'm quite happy with it, so I'm not going to do that. There. So that looks great. Now, take a look. This is going to go on here. Look how nice that pops. Isn't that beautiful? So now what I want to do is there's also coordinating twine. And that's what's really cool about Stampin' Up! They have everything coordinates. It makes it so easy. So I'm just going to hold it there. Maybe a bit longer. Here. Wrap it around. So. And then down here, I'm going to make it into a bow. I guess I could do it at the top too. I'm not sure. So I'm first going to tie it in a knot. And then in a bow. Or if you hate bows, just tie it and cut it so that it's just straight ends. That's okay too. Doesn't have to be a bow. And in fact, twine bows usually get all twisty anyway. So don't stress about bows. If you don't like making bows, don't do it. It's that simple. So now I could do this flat, or now I have to do the saying. I had the saying all ready to go, and it comes with really nice sayings. But let's see. I've got this one. Let's have a look and see. It's going to go on here. And then like so. And then like so. When a child is born, so is a mother. There. But I want to prove my point. You could also go, may all the love that you gave to me come back to you on your special day. That's nice too. And then there's another one that says, so happy for you, but you know what? It is missing in action. And I don't know if I have another little white circle. You should see my desk. You'd be laughing at me. You would just, oh, I found it. Good. It looks like a tornado hit it. No person in their right mind would do a video with their desk looking like this. Okay. So I'm going to stamp so happy for you. Okay? That way, oh, look, I have one. Ha, ha, ha. Look, that was for tomorrow's card. So I'm going to put that away. And do I have it here? Yeah. So now we're going to find a block. Here. Big block. And my black again. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see how I do. Okay. The thing is, the words are the thing that I've used my Stamparatus for the most. So tap, tap, oh here. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, it looks super juicy. This could be a problem. Okay. Woo, deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you know what? It's perfect. And maybe some of you guys are saying, see, Jackie, we didn't need that Stamparatus. Well, you know what? I'm happy to say so far, so good. I'm still happy that I have it. And I will tell you something, that when you're not looking, I'm still going to be using it to guarantee my success. But this silicone mat is definitely a nice thing. Okay, so now I have to decide, and maybe you guys can help me. Let's have a look. Oh, I haven't seen my table. That's true. Yeah, Lareed, I know the Stamparatus is wonderful. A messy desk is a creative desk, isn't it? That's true, Mary Ellen. If you use the smaller end of the blends, you don't get as much bleeding, and that's a good thing. So I could lay this on flat and then just pop up the saying, and I might do that. Otherwise, you've got popping on popping, and then it's too much. But I do have string here. You know what? I'm popping it up. That's really nice of me, eh? I didn't even wait for your answers. How bad is that? It's like, oh, she's only asking to make us get engaged. She doesn't really care what we're going to say. Well, that's not really true. It's just that I'm naturally an impatient person. And I figure you'd probably agree with me anyway. But generally speaking, if I have ribbon or twine, and look, these look like they're white dimensionals, but they're not. They're black. Isn't that great? I love that they have black dimensionals as well. And the neat thing about the black dimensionals, they come in a package with small ones and big ones, which I find to be really, really wonderful. Sometimes I wish they would do that with the white ones, but they don't, and that's okay. I'm going to move this over to the one side. So even though I'm encasing a card, I have no idea what it's, because it's not in front of me, so I don't know what it looks like anymore. So here, I'm going to do So Happy For You. And if someone wants that, I'll just glue it over top. Okay, so remember, you're supposed to be nominating someone. Oh, I already glued it, silly girl. Okay, let's have a look. So what I do now, and so I don't add too much thickness to my card, I'm just going to put some dimensionals on this side, so then it will just lay flat on the other side. So that's my little trick. And my dimensionals are just about gone, but I always use my edge pieces, and you can just break them like so. And then I have to remember I need them on this side. So maybe I don't have to break them. You can also bend them a little bit. See? Like this. So that's kind of cool. And now I'll put on the other side, I will just put a little bit of liquid adhesive. Okay? All right. I hope that, looks like I froze. I hope I didn't freeze. You know? Here we go. So this is going to go like so. And how nice is that? And then the inside of these cards is blank. So that's really nice. You could, if you wanted to, you could put a saying in the inside like this. Or you can just write it with a heartfelt note. Whatever you like. And then you have a beautiful envelope to go with it. So I will add the links to the products that you need. Let me just switch this afterwards, okay? Usually I have all that stuff ready, but I wasn't feeling that great today. And I just received another online order today, so thank you very much. And let me just give credit to where credit is due. Let me see if I have it here. You would not believe how excited I get when I get an online order notification. So thank you very much, Kathy Bragger. You made my day today, and it just, you know, I'm feeling a little bit of stress, and I'll tell you why. I just found out that Mexico, the incentive trip for this year, is super important to Gerard. Now, I kind of excused myself because it wasn't that important to me. I'm not really a hot weather girl. I'm more like the European, the history tours and that kind of thing. And all of a sudden now I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to work really hard so I can earn this for him. So, and it's hard being across the pond and in 2 countries and not being able to do in-person classes, because that's my thing. I love teaching face-to-face. So this is where you guys come in. I was thinking that on Tuesdays, instead of doing stories and stamps, that I would do a Zoom class. And not every week, because that would be too much, but maybe twice a month, or once a month for sure, but maybe twice a month if everybody likes it. Because then you can join with me and we can see each other. because now I see your names popping up and I see what you're saying, but I don't get to see you. You only get to see me. So comment if you would be interested in Zooms. They're going to be free. I'm just hoping that those of you who can order from me in my markets will do so. But these are going to be free, no obligation, demonstrators welcome. I just want to have fun together. I want to see people. I miss you. And my life here is, it's hard for me to do regular classes here as well because I have to maintain my Canadian business. So I'm kind of stuck. I still want to do classes here for newbies and people who request classes, but not stuff on a regular basis. So that's my big news. I hope that I get lots of feedback from you guys. And in the meantime, make sure you get those good deals on the stuff that's leaving. And if you're stressed out about the price, put it in a starter kit and save the shipping and tax. And don't worry about being a demonstrator because that's not necessary at all. You can get the starter kit just for your own discount and even just for the deal itself. So that's the best kept secret, and I'm sharing it with you. So last thing, don't forget to nominate someone for Cheer Corner and have a super day. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Let's do this.